Welcome to News Insight on Landslide News. Today, one of the former governors of Rivers State and Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Rotimi Amaechi, came out and told us character and personality and how the politicians always do things the way they want to do things, and how they've also put the people inside a particular state of mind so that they can control them. And that's what we're going to be looking at. Some people in the APC, even in the PDP, inclusive of some Labour Party officials, some said he's telling the truth, some said, why is it now that he's saying those kind of things? Philip, good morning.
Good morning.
Honorable Eli, good morning.
Good morning, brother.
You are looking like an angel today.
It's the Lord's doing.
Yeah, well,
it's Friday.
It's Friday?
Yeah.
Okay, are you going somewhere today?
Maybe Mox.
All right, okay. Philip, Amaechi, in his usual state, said he grew up that way under the political umbrella to learn how to handwink the people to do their bits, something like that. Because if you put a summation there, you could get something like that.
Well, Amaechi has spoken, like he said. Amaechi's speech has sparked up a lot of discussion within the rank of the political parties, the PDP, the APC, the Labour Party, most especially, and they have, emptied their mind on who Amaechi is. Amaechi is saying that he is trying to teach Nigerian youth how to live. And this adage that you don't give what you don't have has to come into play. If Amaechi, who has been opportune to be the Speaker of Rivers State for 8 years, he didn't make any impact whatsoever we can bring out from the legislative arm, wherein there were clear separation of power during his time. Amaechi, who has been governor of Rivers State for 8 years, nothing to show that Amaechi, as chief executive of Rivers State, was able to ensure the rule of law and been able to impact the life of Rivers. Amaechi has been a minister of transportation who was saddled with the responsibility of the railways in Nigeria, and so much billion were budgeted and allotted and spent on that. What Amaechi could do, instead of thinking of linking Nigeria with railway, he was busy trying to link Nigeria to Niger. Amaechi is speaking. He's telling us what they do best. Because he told us that, poverty had driven him to remain in the political setting right from his days of graduation. Yeah. So Amaechi has nothing, no pedigree for himself, other than to be a political dog to get to where he is. I'm sorry, I'm using the word.
No. A spade is a spade. Yeah. Let's call it that way.
So Amaechi, that's why one of I think the Labour youth leader said, who is Amaechi to even speak on this topic in the first place? Amaechi that is known for, was it the PDP? PDP referred to him as a profiteer. That Amaechi is known, that's why his own party, APC, do not take him serious when he showed interest to run for the presidency. Amaechi is a man with a questionable character. He cannot come to lecture Nigeria on how to be of good character.
Or how better Nigeria.
Exactly. Amaechi is only saying this because he lost out in the last
And
game.
now he's not in the scheme of things.
Yes. And he's not even saying it to the favor of the Nigerian youth or Nigerians. He's only playing to the gallery. So that, Amaechi has been out of circulation for such a long time. So he's trying to relaunch himself. But I don't see how he can relaunch it. Even in Rivers State, he can't relaunch himself, not talk of the entire Nigeria. We don't know Amaechi. Amaechi is one of those, street boy picked up by politicians and trained and fed, and became overfed, bulldog who is trying to back at his masters. So Amaechi is best known for that.
Okay, all right. Honorable Eli, there is something he said. He said, all we have here is typical of Nigerian. He said they'll be clapping. That's why politicians get away with anything. They get away with murder because they have a short memory. None of you here can defend the votes. This is what he's saying to Nigeria.
Well, is it far from what we actually have on ground? We've had instances where the people in office really do nothing for us. Rather, when that time comes, they'll pick few out of so many, empower them with money, empower them with weapons, and they go after their own people, killing themselves, and then declaring whoever they want to declare. Then the rest of us, INEC will stand up, do what they want to do, the tribunal will do what they want to do, and we will now go to sit down as if nothing happens. In Kano, you can never count the number of persons that died during the last general election. It has always been like that. All right? So, but then, what Amaechi have said, is it far from truth? The answer is no. So, I am not thinking Amaechi is saying this because he wants to be relevant. He's actually telling us or reminding us how stupid we are, that a few of them have used our resources to work against us, send us to kill those that want to speak for the truth.
So what we are saying is that what morality does Amaechi have to say this?
The question here
what
is
moral
this.
right?
The question here is this. Morality to say this, that is if he's qualified or
His
not.
moral right, yes.
Now listen, is that what we actually need? I think either he has any moral ground or not. It is now good that among the political elites, either you like it or not, we cannot push Amaechi aside as a nobody in Nigeria. So if they now, like El-Rufai, begin to say that the people in office do not have the interests of Nigerians at heart, and Amaechi coming from the other side of the country to say what he has said, it's now left for us to know, pick from their words.
When they wanted to grab power in 2013 to 2014, these are the same line they told. They told this line, and they told this truth, this so-called truth. And they came to governance in 2015. This 2025, 10 years after, the story hasn't changed.
10 years after, the story have not changed because we do not even know what we want. That is what Amaechi is reminding. I think it's a wake-up call for us to understand the values they place on us, and then for us to be able to, are we animals? Is it an animal farm? Where the same people will wake up the same time, they need something in the same offices, and then they will tell us stories. And then we'll allow them to use us, we'll be used for their own gains and interests, all right? And by the end of the day, they dump us. Then after 4 years, they come up with the same story. Now, if we do not understand these things by ourselves, for whatever reason, and they are beginning to shout from their camps, I don't think Amaechi is thinking of becoming president again for now. He's rather telling us the unfortunate situation on ground and the painful truth of how stupid we Nigerians are. That this, it happened in Kogi State.
Is that if I'm thinking of becoming president?
I wouldn't say yes.
So why are they talking?
Hey, they are talking because they are getting tired of the whole system. Were you not in this same country that a politician wake up and told Muhammad Buhari that they should stop this issue of payment of subsidy payment, that they are overreached, they've overmade money from it? So
Okay.
if the same this, look, either you like it or these are the people that either want to go for certain offices or sponsor people. So if they begin to tell us that what they do is to kill us for their interest, what they do is to steal our money, and that Nigerians do not have a voice, then it's a wake-up call for us to now check inward and know and check, do we
All
have
right.
values for ourselves?
Okay.
Yeah.
In continuation of what he said the politician is there in Nigeria to steal. He said to maim, to kill, and to remain in power, which they are not exceptional. If you think Tinubu will give it to you, you are wasting your time. When we speak, we forget history. In other words, we will not also forget all the things they said in 2015. Now is another election drawing close, and everybody is raising their tentacle to make sure they spread it to every area of the polity. Tell us about this statement.
You see, Amaechi has spoken. The truth remains that, yes, the message is true, but the messenger has a question mark. And again, the purpose of the message is what we should ask ourselves. What is the purpose of this message at this point in time? Like you said, 2 years to general election, or less than 2 years, this message is coming in. What is the purpose of this message? I think that's the question Nigeria should ask themselves. For me, Amaechi lacked the moral to speak on issues like this. Like he said, he is only saying, confirming what they do, what he knows how to do better. Because he did that to get into the House of Assembly. He amassed wealth for 8 years. He continued to do that to get to the seat of the governor of Rivers State. He amassed wealth for 8 years. When he found out that he was out of favor with his party, PDP, he jumped boat to APC and fought his own brother so that he can remain in power. And he did remain in power for 8 years as the Minister of Transportation. Now, because of the role he played in the build-up to this administration, his strong opposition against Tinubu is not being patronized. So, what will he do next? And even in Rivers State, Rivers State is long left his hand. He tried to, in 2015, he could not win the governor's seat, even with his godson, anointed godson. In 2019, he failed. Even in 2023 again, he failed. Even the man who succeeded him is also failed because Rivers State is a very dynamic state.
Unique state.
So anything can happen to anybody. So you cannot even go back home to say, I am a no politician. You see, the thing is this. Yes, it's good for them to say this. It's a wake-up call and all of that. But we don't need them. We already know. We already know what the politicians do. We don't need Amaechi to tell us. We don't need a soothsayer. And it's not one of those prophets that will prophesy to us. So, because the thing is this, like he said, they are trying to either sponsor themselves or their cronies and all of that. So they need to curry the favor of the people. I say it again. Because he wants to be relevant. So it's Amaechi that make that statement. It's just that's what he's looking for.
Yeah.
But it's not going to happen. We are not going to listen to Amaechi.
They are cloud without water.
Of course.
Yeah. These old gago politicians, what can we do to them?
What we can do to them is what Amaechi is trying to make us to understand.
Because Amaechi wants to remain relevant.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. If he wants to remain relevant, he won't come out and tell us that they are killers, they are thieves, they are wicked people, and that they don't have the interest of us at hand. Rather, you'll be praising their praises, singing their praises, I mean. Amaechi is telling you that if you think that Tinubu, what is he telling us? He's telling Nigerians, which is what I've always said here, that we have to come together. We have to understand the power we have as a people. Amaechi is still telling us that the only way we can come out of this thing is never to rely on these people, never to vote them again, the old politicians we know. Rather, we have to unite, because our vote, either we like it or not, when the volume of vote is large and is on one side, you cannot just carry it and give it to whoever you choose to give. So what Amaechi is saying, be moral or not be moral, I think I like it. That is confession. He's saying it what they do. So I don't think he's saying this because he wants to be relevant. Rather, God is pushing them to expose themselves to the sins and the wickedness they are doing to us, and for us to be able to realize ourselves, come together and look for somebody different from the usuals.
All right. Okay. So we will pin it there today. Philip tells us he doesn't think Amaechi has the moral standing or locus to say what he's saying. But as a prophet that he is, Honorable Eli is telling us that God is using them to point us to the real thing towards 2027. This is still News Inside on Landslide News. We'll be back.